this example here is hidden deals and negotiation strategies. So with this particular account, and I've tried to remove anything that would kind of signal who these are. But this again is like a marketing tactic, right? So and again, no harm to whoever is doing this. We're all trying to get people to raise their hands and request information, 100%. Right. So we just have to be careful how we do that. And in this case, this person does this through mass communications or maybe campaigns that strategically just trying to get audiences to reach out or raise their hand or essentially book a call. Right. So promotional claims, we definitely want to stay away from those. Those type of claims. Again, this is application to person. So it's a little bit different than us using our cell phones because we're using a CRM system. So this is kind of where it gets kind of monitored a little bit differently. So again, too be good to be true claims. The book call is a strong call, call to action and it's flagging it as a classic spam pattern. Okay, so again, kind of put back into messages that you get, periodically from different scammers, things like that. And so this is really what it's watching, is protecting the consumers from going to different sites. And that's, of course, where the URL shortener is one of the biggest reasons for this message to be blocked, is that he's not using a website identifiers like this. Instantly is going to block that message because the consumer does not know where they're going by clicking that link. Okay. Also in here, there's no context. The person has no idea why they're getting this message and or who's sending them the message, right? So we want to make sure that it's more of a warm outreach. So think of like when we're communicating with these individuals or these leads, that it's warm communication as if we know them, right? So and kind of put that when you're creating it. Here it does give some examples of how we could rewrite this to achieve the response that we're looking to get, right? So when I'm using ChatGPT, it will give you some, alternatives to the response. Okay. And sometimes the carriers are super picky, sometimes they're not. Right. So again, it's the same idea. I can help you understand what's happening in the market and where buyers are finding the best value. All right, so it's a little bit warmer than a cold, marketing outreach with these individuals. So we don't want to include fear-based, strong call to actions, user URL shorteners, no sender name, and no clear reason why the lead is receiving this message. This one here is a first-time homebuyer seminar. Again, this is a great way to try to engage with our audiences, especially the first-time homebuyers, but we just have to be careful again how we're putting this together and structuring it to the individual. So again, there's no consent text. This doesn't explain again why they're receiving this message. It's a mass marketing tone of we would love to invite you. Again, some carriers can just be picky. They're all different. I find West Coast carriers, even though they're the same carriers, seem to be a little bit more strict than East Coast for whatever reason. Incentive. So this is a major, offering them free lunch and a gift card incentive, right? So again, this kind of messaging can cause blocking. Again, intentions are good. Carriers think otherwise. And then the late sender ID. This one doesn't always hit or trigger something. Just so you guys are aware, a lot of the messages that are being sent through the AgentLocator campaigns have your names at the end of them. It doesn't always cause an issue. Okay, so it's just so you guys are aware, your name doesn't always have to show up in every single text message. It doesn't always have to show up in the beginning, but it could be, if you're noticing something that's pretty compliant, but it's blocking, but your name's at the end or something's missing, that could be the reason why. And there's just some examples here. You guys have that in the Google Drive that I created for you guys. Again, this here is a team intro. So again, there's nothing really when we look at this as far as, it's just somebody introducing, I know you're interested in buying a home, I'd love to help, what sets whatever their team apart is personalized approach and deep knowledge. Now, this message is the first message that is essentially going out. Okay, so to the individuals that are kind of signing up. I believe this was the first message. So again, sales and promotional language, trying to prevent that. This message, when I don't have all these like little brackets, is quite long. So we have to remember that these are text messages. So messages that are too long will also potentially get blocked just because of the length of it. Okay. Multiple contacts method, and again, it doesn't explain why this person is getting this message. Okay, so again, kind of putting it in here. And then example 4, qualification. This message is actually a conversation that's happening. So this isn't part of a campaign. This is an agent just, actively in communication, right? So, and this message got blocked. So here again, any kind of financial qualification language, want to, be careful how we do that. Are you presently leasing or you own? This is again, kind of like CRM script pattern. It's a very, just the way that it's a very common question, essentially. Reads like a form, not a text, and no sender consent. There's again, the recipient doesn't know why they're getting this message. Website tracking. Again, this is the most common one that I see happen when I'm looking. Is you were just on my website looking at homes in Toronto, in Vancouver, in Dallas, wherever it might be, right? This right here, this is the reason why this message got blocked. Doesn't matter, like I can say, it doesn't matter. The name was at the end of this one. Doesn't matter where the name, anything was, that there alone would cause this message to be blocked. Okay.